This episode of Spectre Sound Studios is brought to you by Distrokid.
The fact that jellyfish have existed for 500 million years without brains gives hope to many bass players.
Hey everybody, it's Friday. Hope you're going to have an absolutely amazing weekend. It's time for SMG Viewers Comments. We're at episode number 339. This show is about you, not about me, so let's get to your comments and questions right now.
Good! I would love to see a video where you mix a song in the most cliche, modern metal way possible with time alignment, sample placement, etc., just for fun.
Yeah, you know what? That video might be a lot of fun. I need to go get myself a copy of Easy Drummer and some auto-tune and all the rest of that stuff. The great thing is, once I've got all those tools, I should be able to do a mix in about 20 minutes or so, shouldn't I?
I'm glad you broached this subject. It really is a kick in the balls to see female musicians using their bodies to sell their quote-unquote talents.
You know what, Murph? I think that's the wrong attitude. Yeah, music is not a meritocracy, but if you've got some kind of advantage, especially in terms of aesthetics, I say fucking go for it. Look, I understand if somebody's successful on YouTube or in music some way and they happen to be very attractive, that is a kick in the balls to us ugly people. Trust me, as an ugly person, I understand exactly where you're coming from. But what would you rather have that person do? Would you rather have them cover up and dress modestly and maybe not get the attention that they probably deserve so they can spend their life working on an assembly line somewhere and maybe get injured, maybe throw their back out or injure their arms or something like that and then not be able to play? Ultimately, the choice is up to the person making the music, not you, not me. It's what they want to do and how they want to present themselves to the world. That's their business. And as far as I'm concerned, if they want to do it like that, more power to them. If they can have success doing it, even better. Because it sure beats the hell out of getting injured on a fucking assembly line, working your ass off at a shit job for shit wages.
So you did it. You got me to spend more money on another cab. I just bought a Marshall JCM 800 1960 lead because of your speaker video. And now I'm about to pick up a crappy crate 4x12 for $100 that I'm not even going to listen to before I remove the speakers from. Now it's time to pick out some speakers. Thanks! I mean that both sarcastically and literally, haha.
Brandon, so happy I could help. Now, if you guys are wondering what Brandon is talking about, please check out the video where I upgraded the world's shittiest guitar cabinet and put in some brand new Celestion Neo creambacks, because that cabinet, that $100 piece of shit Behringer cabinet, has become like my favorite recording cabinet now all of a sudden. I'm still hard at work on the whole cabinet wood shootout video. I'm halfway through it right about now. I've been running some test mixes and moving speakers back and forth and getting some very interesting results. I think it's going to raise some eyebrows for more than a couple people. I think it's a very important video you guys are definitely not going to want to miss. The big question, of course, is Tonewood. Is it a thing on solid body electrics? Not so much. On guitar cabinets, it remains to be seen, and I'm doing the best test I possibly can to try and give you guys a solid answer about that. The bottom line of what Brandon got inspired by is you don't have to drop a crap ton of money on a guitar cabinet to get some really spectacular results. You can go out and buy something used that might not be the most expensive, whether it be made of plywood or MDF or whatever the fuck it is, and chances are you're going to get some very good results out of it if you put good speakers in. And what are good speakers? Well, you can't go wrong with a lot of Celestions, of course. You know, the tried and true vintage 30, boring. There's also the greenback, the new Neo creambacks. Those are absolutely amazing. There's also a whole line of WGS speakers that are absolutely incredible as well. There's a myriad of amazing speaker choices out there these days, and I really hope more guitar players get into the idea of trying out new speaker ideas and combinations, because that's where you're going to start to find more unique sounds.
I played drums in 2 different bands that literally said to me that I have no input into the songwriting because I was just the drummer. My ability on bass and guitar meant nothing to them. Oh, and they were both went nowhere whatsoever. The one broke up 6 months after they threw me out. Before you assume, they threw me out because I told them they needed to buy guitar tuners. Back in '99, when I was uploading the music to the internet and people only commented on my shit production, they didn't care about the music if it didn't sound like $50,000 production.
Wow, man, there's an awful lot to unpack with that statement. Damn, getting thrown out of a band for telling the guitar players to use tuners, that does sound very realistic, because guitar players love to let the ego get in the way of the goal. How dare you tell me how to tune my guitar? I know what I'm doing. I'm awesome. I think about 90% of the people watching this show have been in a band with somebody exactly like that. As for the whole, hey, I'm getting shit comments because it doesn't sound like a $50,000 production, you know, hey, it's even worse these days. The great thing is, though, we have all these tools that can make it sound like a $50,000 production. The only thing is it makes it sound like everybody else's $50,000 production that they actually didn't spend $50,000 on. But it sure sounds great. Cookie cutter, cookie cutter, cookie cutter, cookie cutter. Anyway, you get the idea. So I just came off a live stream with photographer Peter Colson, and the guy is really inspirational. He's got a lot of fantastic ideas for posing models and lighting and all this great stuff. He's a really cool guy, but he had a really great comment about the photography world anyway, and I think this applies to the music world as well. As if you're into it for making art, maybe what you should do is start plugging your ears and stop listening to the forums and stop listening to the other musicians who are judging you, and just make the music you fucking want to. Hey everybody, this episode of Spectre Sound Studios has been sponsored by Distrokid, my favorite online music distribution service, and I've been using it problem-free since 2015. It's the one-stop shop to get your music online to all the major streaming sites like Apple Music, Amazon, Google Play, Spotify, plus over 150 smaller online music retailers as well. It costs a whopping $20 a year, but you get to keep 100% of your earnings. Distrokid also has lots of cool features, like getting your project more followers on Spotify with the new Hyperflow, or change your image on Apple Music and iTunes, plus adding credits and liner notes to stores and streaming services. You can now list musicians, contact info, social media profiles, and hundreds of other roles. There's also the synced lyrics feature, so you can have the lyrics play along to your Instagram and Apple Music posts. And this is especially great if your singer loves to cup the mic and nobody can understand him. What's more, the new splits function works great for those long distance collaborations that everybody is doing these days. Splits allows you to pay your collaborators automatically by percentage, so you can concentrate on making music instead of learning how to be an accountant. You can change the splits, plus add or remove collaborators at any time, and collaborators get a 50% discount on their Distrokid account. Now, for all you drummers out there, that's only $10. There's 3 levels of plans available: Musician, Musician Plus, and one even for labels. I use Distrokid to put my music online, including this channel's theme song, The Eagle Has Landed, and even got a license through Distrokid for the cover of Moon on the Water that we did a number of years ago. Go to distrokid.com/VIP/Spectre today and grab yourself a 7% discount on the first year. Follow the link in the description below. Now back to the show.
1:15. How do you sleep at night knowing you act like this, lol?
I sleep at night absolutely fine because I can look myself in the mirror and know I'm being honest with the world.
Glenn, about 22 years ago, some friends of mine were recording with Michael Wagener at Wireworld. I was doing demos for what would be my 4th album, and he asked me if it wouldn't be too much to pass him over to Michael for an opinion. And he basically, in raw and honest German fashion, ripped apart the recording, mostly about the guitar being all over the fucking place, frequency-wise. This is his first time attempting an all-digital recording. Had I not listened to and taken his criticism as something that would make my production skills better, I would have never learned the concept of spectral management, which is one of the most important things as a mix engineer needs to know. The prick kid in me was fuming, but the adult said, calm down, Junior. Remember, this is the guy who has done Ozzy and Metallica, and he might just want to listen to some free advice. I'd post a few sound samples, but you know, that CD Baby thing.
Once again, this is why we go with Distrokid, so we don't have to run into that shit. We can actually whitelist channels and make it easy. But the thing about Michael Wagener giving you some useful advice, this is the thing, sometimes the things we need to hear aren't what we want to hear, and we need to be able to take constructive criticism and apply it to what we're doing. And that's the thing, I guarantee Michael wasn't being a dick about things, he was just being honest. And I think, you know, a lot of us get brought up in an environment where everything's awesome and everybody's special and we all get awards for shit we don't deserve. And then when somebody comes along and says, well, no, you're not special, you're not great, and you need to fucking make improvements here, 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 and here, there's this tendency to get really offended about that kind of thing. And I think that absolutely fucking sucks. We need to be able to take constructive criticism, and there's a difference between you fucking suck, man, you fucking suck, you're never gonna be anything, you're never gonna do anything. That's not constructive criticism. And it's like when he says your guitars are all over the place, did he also offer some advice on how to not have them all over the place by, oh, maybe do an EQ cut here, maybe do an EQ cut here, maybe back your gain off, maybe add more gain, that sort of thing. Here's how you dial your amp in a little bit. That's constructive criticism. I mean, like, I get a lot of both doing this show, that's for sure. A lot of guys will get really offended by what I say. You're fucking fucking asshole, man. You don't know what you're talking about. And it's like, that is the true indicator you really touched a nerve when somebody comes back at you with, you don't know what you're talking about. It's the ad hominem attack. It's attacking the person, not the actual argument presented. But I've gotten some great constructive criticism over the years from some of the viewers as well, where they come along and say, hey, maybe try it this way, maybe try it this way. And I'm always down to try stuff like that out because I'm always trying to improve what I do so I can pass it along to you guys and hopefully help somebody else out along the way as well. It's kind of a reciprocal thing, and that's why we're like 339 episodes into SMG viewers' comments, because what you guys say really matters an awful lot to me. And, you know, after a few years, you definitely do learn to separate the non-constructive from the constructive stuff. So please keep the comments and questions coming because I'm more than happy to answer them.
Sweetwater has been eating all the competitors' lunches for the last number of years because their service is better than everyone else. Here's one of our employees who we personally oversee all your needs in perpetuity. Who else does that? Meanwhile, Guitar Center let a bunch of suits who think they matter with their worthless MBA degrees or run the company into the ground.
Now, I had a bad experience with Sweetwater way back in 2005. I ordered a direct box and it got held up at the border because somebody added a zero to the value. So what should have been $150 direct box was listed to customs as $1,500. And I just sent it back. I'm like, what the hell? And the guy who was working my phone at the time, my contact at Sweetwater, denied it was his fault. And customs sent me a copy of the paperwork and it had his fucking signature on it. That pissed me off. And, you know, I remember bringing that up on the show back in like 2014, 2015, something like that. And somebody reached out and said, we can make this better. And they did, and they've been great ever since. I've been working with Jeff Allen at Sweetwater for quite a few years now, and the dude really takes care of me. I did GearFest at Sweetwater there a couple years ago, and I sat down and took the sales engineer test, and that was really fucking tough. I don't think I would have passed, to be honest with you. The people who are working there now really know what the fuck they're talking about, and if you're talking to somebody on the phone at Sweetwater, there's a very good chance they earned the position they're at because you really do have to fucking work for it, and I think that's fucking fantastic. And that's why I'm happy to work with them these days, because they had a problem, they fixed it, and they got a lot better. So for you guys wondering where to go buy shit, yeah, I can't recommend Sweetwater enough. I think they're fucking fantastic these days. And no, they're not paying me to say that. Those are my genuine feelings, because when I do have to order something, I will order it from Sweetwater before I order from anywhere else.
Can we just give Glenn a trophy or something for actually trying to teach people how to do their job, right? I was in 2 bands. Both of them fell apart. Both were doing half of the things from the previous vid and almost none of the stuff in this one. Bro, thank you for the work you're doing.
Oh, yes, the 13 Reasons Why videos, why your band's never going to make it, and 13 Reasons Why your band could make it. If you haven't watched those, check them out. They're a lot of fun. I'm just trying to give you guys, you know, the best information I possibly can in the simplest format possible. That's the easiest to digest, just to get the message across. You know, when I did the first one, a lot of people got butthurt about, you're an asshole, man, you're never gonna... Okay, so we did the opposite thing. Here's how you might make it. It's like, here are some things to try that you might not have already. And as evidenced by Cloudy95, apparently a lot of the ideas in there, his band did not try. So I don't know. If you're in a band and you're trying to get noticed or something, maybe check a couple of those videos out. Maybe they might be helpful. Then again, maybe I'm just an asshole.
Hey Glenn, thanks for the feedback on my mix. It wasn't what I wanted to hear, but that's what constructive criticism is for. Going to put my big boy pants on and work harder at singing and recording. Love your channel and harms up. Big thank you from Arizona, David Dodson.
Hey, David, thanks so much. Hopefully some of my advice was helpful. If you guys are wondering what's going on, I'm doing mixed reviews Monday mornings and Monday evenings. That way we can get the guys in Europe and we get the guys on the West Coast of the US, try and get a look at a whole bunch of different mixes. There's been guys coming back week after week, showing off their mixes and making improvements and all that kind of stuff. It's an awful lot of fun. I usually stream about 3 hours in the morning and 3 to 4 in the evenings. It's a long day, but it's an awful lot of fun. We've definitely found some really cool artists along the way. It's kind of like what GarageBand.com was back in the early 2000s before Apple bought the name. You know, you'd wade through a lot of stuff before you found something good, but when you found something good, man, was it ever worth it. Last Monday night, we had a whole host of real bangers that night. And if you go back to the video, in the description, there's a list of tonight's bangers, like recommended tracks to check out. There's some really fucking cool bands out there, some really exciting stuff, some stuff that I wasn't, you know, thinking just by the song title, I'm not so fucking sure about this one. And turns out to be really great. There was this one band, it was a gent song of all things, and the song was called Hamburger Sandwich. and it was absolutely fucking great. I mean, somebody finally figured out how to make gent entertaining. Who'd ever thought that?
Hey Glenn, I'm expanding my studio and recently bought my first pre, a Daking Pre 2. Any suggestion to get the most out of it?
I have that exact unit down in Los Angeles. That's a fucking fantastic preamp. It's based around the Trident console design. You know, there's like three main designs when it comes to preamps, as far as I know. Anyway, there's, you know, the Neve style, the API style, and the lesser known Trident style. And the Trident stuff's fucking fantastic. That's a great preamp. Anything, just plug a mic in and fucking turn it up till you get the right level. It's probably gonna sound good, seriously. That thing's kind of a fucking no-brainer. Just hook it up right, gain stage it right, and you are in business. You're gonna love what you get with that thing.
The thing with lessons is not the student's ego, but the teacher's ego. I went to Berklee and guess those poor students are never going to be as good as their teachers and never are, and that is how they educate. Never there's someone as good or actually better than those predatory animals that teach there.
Thinking about going to Berklee and dropping a shit ton of money? Keep that statement in mind.
If you really can't find anyone playing music in your area, join at church. They play every Sunday.
Just bring your bullshit detector.
Figured you might get a kick out of this. A coworker of mine who happens to also play guitar asked me the other day about Tonewood. After I laughed at him, I told him not to waste his money.
Good for you, Mike. You're spreading the good word. When it comes to solid body guitars, Tonewood is bullshit. Acoustic guitars might be a little different. Drums, probably different too. But solid body electrics, don't fall for that shit. As long as it has some mass, it's gonna be fine.
Aren't 50-year-olds supposed to lose their hair? Isn't that kind of the deal to living?
Yeah, usually that's how it goes, but I was born ugly, so I guess this is life compensating for that now that I'm like 51 years old and still have most of my hair. Sorry about your luck, though. All right, everybody, that's it for this episode. Thank you so very much for watching. Keep those comments and questions coming. I love hearing from you guys, seriously. It really makes my day when I get some feedback, especially when it's a question where I think not only can I help this person asking it, but I can help the general audience as well. So keep those coming because I really want to hear more from you guys. Don't forget to check out Distrokid, the online service to get your music out to the world. It's what I've been using for years, and I think they're absolutely fantastic. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Where was I going with this anyway? God, this is a tough one. Oh, God damn it. Yeah, this is fucking terrible. I just can't fucking come up with a good ending here. Don't forget to check out Distrokid, the system. Fuck! All right, that's it. Fuck sakes! Just having a brain fart today. There, was that so fucking difficult?